Welcome to the Dave Whitty Show. I'm your host, Dave Whitty. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. Episode 21 is here. Can't believe we made it this far. Big thanks again to my buddy Mark Manning of Rum Ragged for coming on last episode. Really great to catch up with him and hear all the stuff that Rum Ragged's been up to. So, make sure you tune into all their social media channels and check out their website for some upcoming shows. I did notice that they had posted recently that they're doing a show in Twillingate. So, make sure you head on over to the Rum Ragged page and if you're going to be in the area, go check out that show. I got another cool episode for you today, guys. I got another couple of my friends, Adam Hunt and Travis Reid, both buddies I grew up with who've just recently started a new business called The Woodshed. I wanted to get the guys on to talk a little bit about, what their plans are with their new business and, where it's going to be located and, what kind of services they're going to be providing. So make sure you do stick around, for that interview with both Adam and Travis. Lots going on in my world. Jesus, summer is back. Holy shit. I mean, we're just cooking again. I kind of forgot what it was like to be gigging like this and to be back out, as much as I am. It's been really, really fun. I mean, it's a little exhausting just because I'm not used to it. My voice is a little strained. You might be able to hear it in my voice as I'm speaking, but I mean, just been really, really busy, so, been playing a lot of solo stuff and doing some stuff with the Dawnies as well. At Greensleeves on Sundays, and I'm at Kelly's a few nights a week, and then I'm kind of, picking and choosing in between there. There's lots that goes on. I mean, at Golf Shots or the Republic, or, last weekend we were at O'Reilly's with the Dawnies, which was an incredible weekend. Really, really fun. Really great to get together with the guys. I mean, our guitar player Alex was back. He's been working away for a few months, so it was nice to have him back on stage with us. And we just had a lot of fun at O'Reilly's. It was a great weekend. I mean, tons of great people there, and really, really engaging audience, and we had a lot of fun playing. It's one thing with the band. I mean, people ask, what do you like more? I mean, it's both kind of different. I mean, sometimes I feel like when I'm doing the solo stuff, it feels a little bit more like a job. When I'm kind of with the guys, I mean, it feels a lot more like it's just it's a little bit more enjoyable. You got some buddies to have a bit of fun with on stage. You're making jokes. You're all singing harmony together, and if you mess up together, or if you do something really great, you do it together. So I mean, it's always better doing stuff in a little team. So yeah, I had a great weekend with the Dawnies O'Reilly's. Thanks to O'Reilly's Irish Pub for booking us last weekend. I think we're back there again at the end of August. I think the last weekend of August, 27th and 28th perhaps. Speaking of the Dawnies, we just released our first single. You can catch it on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you stream music. Song is called My Only Friend. We recorded it here in St. John's with Robert Kelly. It features a bunch of musicians, obviously local musicians. I mean, Aaron Collis, Rowan Sherlock's there, and a ton of other people. Tune I wrote last year, and I kind of presented to the boys, and then we just kind of roll with it and use that as our first single. So, I mean, been hearing lots of great compliments about it, and a lot of people are pretty stoked on the song. So, if you get a chance to flip over and have a listen to that, maybe after you listen to the podcast, once again, you can find that on all streaming services. Search us, the Dawnies, Dawnies, and the song's called My Only Friend. Yeah, like I mentioned, I've been pretty busy doing a lot of solo stuff. I mean, throughout the week and whatnot. Got another fun gig coming up at the Bull and Barrel on Friday. One of my favorite places to perform here in the city. Always a great crowd, great staff. I mean, it's just a fun place to play. Always a great atmosphere. It's also one of my favorite hangouts. I mean, you can catch me at the Bull hanging out quite often. So, always love the chance to perform there. So if you're around on the weekend and maybe you're not into the whole Paddy's Day in July thing, and you want to hear some witty tunes, come on over and check me out at the Bull. I'll be there on Friday. Wanted to give a big shout out. I had a post up on social media there the last couple days about O'Brien's music. I can't say enough about these guys. I mean, if you read my post, you understand it. But for those that never, yesterday, I'm recording here today on Tuesday, July 27th. Yesterday was Monday, July 26th. And, the last few nights I've been hearing a little buzzing going on my guitar, and nothing too uncommon. It happens all the time, especially when you're playing it a lot. So I figured I would bring it in for a summer setup, which is just, they kind of look at it, they kind of adjust the truss rod. I mean, just kind of give it a quick over and kind of get it set back up into real nice playing mode. And so I dropped it into Chris Kersey there at O'Brien's, who, if anybody plays music in the city, you know who Chris Kersey is. He's an incredible guitar tech. He's also an incredible musician, great songwriter, but he just does wonders with instruments. And, he's a good friend of mine. I dropped it down to him and I just said, I happened to meet him outside. He was outside having a smoke and I just gave him my guitar and he said, yes, I'll give you a call. I'll have a look at it. Anyways, he called me a half an hour later and said, Whitty, man, like, your frets are chewed up. Like your guitar is mangled. I mean, you need a full refret job on this thing to keep it from buzzing. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I've had it done a few times in the past where I've had to get it refret. I mean, it's a huge job. I mean, you take off all the frets and put new frets on. It's not an easy job. And, Chris asked me when I could, I needed the guitar back. And I told him that, I had gigs all this week, which I do. And I was playing last night. He said, well, I'll try to get it done for you today. And I said, man, it's all good. I mean, I can use another guitar or I can get a lend off a friend or whatever need be. And anyways, he called me at like 5:30 and said the guitar was ready. So, I just wanted to give a big shout out to O'Brien's Music there yesterday and Chris Kersey because, they do incredible work. They're a small business, local business. I mean, they survived through COVID and, they're in the downtown core where everybody's playing. It's so like, if you need a set of strings or whatever, you can always head to O'Brien's and get hooked up there. And then the guys are all great to deal with. So, yeah, just really wanted to give a big shout out to Chris Kersey and O'Brien's Music for their world-class service yesterday. I couldn't say enough about him. It was really, really incredible. A little bit going on in the sporting world. I mean, we had the NHL draft going on there last week. Seattle Kraken now involved in the NHL. Pretty interesting stuff. Leafs didn't give up a whole lot. I mean, they gave up Jared McCann, which I thought was an incredible transaction there. I mean, we picked him up just days before, so we didn't really lose any of our core. Didn't lose Alex Kerfoot, which was kind of what seemed like was going to happen there. I mean, he's a great player for us. He had an incredible playoff, so happy to see Kerfoot really kind of, we'll stay with the Leafs and, really kind of coming into his own, as of the playoffs. So, tons of other stuff going on. I mean, I'm not going to bore you with all the NHL stuff, but, just seen Marc-Andre Fleury got traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, there's just a ton of transactions going on. Looks like our guy Zach Hyman's gone. I mean, that's it. That's the whole thing with this cap era is that there's not enough room to sign players, and unfortunately Kyle Dubas signed our three big guys to massive contracts, which doesn't leave a whole lot of room for some kind of role players like Zach Hyman. So I mean, it's going to be sad to see Zach Hyman go. He was he's a pit bull for us. He's in the corners, he's in front of the net, he scores goals, he gets assists, and he's tough and gritty. But once he's gone, best of luck to Zach Hyman for everything he did for the Leafs. I'm getting back into hockey again. I mean, I always play hockey in the winters, but our summer league is starting back up again, so really excited about that. Hopefully I don't break any hands or fingers because I got a busy summer of gigging as well. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the ice and getting a little bit of exercise. Really psyched to see Aaron Rodgers back in a Green Bay Packers uniform. I don't talk a whole lot about the NFL. I mean, kind of when I started this, the NFL was the season had already, I think it was just around the Super Bowl when I started my podcast, but I'm a huge Green Bay Packers guy. It's been an interesting offseason with Green Bay, but really happy to see Aaron Rodgers back there in his 17th season with the Green Bay Packers, and hopefully they can do something magical this year because, it might be just his last year, and we got Devontae Adams there out in the wideout, and he's absolutely incredible, so hopefully the boys can make something happen here because it's going to be a big year for Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, that about does it for me, guys. Like I mentioned, I'm at the Bull on Friday. Come and check me out if you're around. And I'm playing pretty much on George Street every single night of the week. Either at Greensleeves or Kelly's or Shamrock or, I'm at one of those spots pretty much every night of the week, especially for the summer. So if you're looking for some live music and you're in town, you're on George Street, come and say hello. Always nice to have a chat with folks. That about does it for me for what's going on in my world, guys. Big thanks to everybody who's been tuning in, obviously, and yeah, make sure you stick around for this great interview with Adam and Travis of the Woodshed. They're a couple guys from Mount Pearl starting up this new business, really really innovative ideas, and just want to wish them the best of luck in everything they do. So make sure you stick around for a great interview with Adam Hunt and Travis Reid of the Woodshed. And I'd like to welcome Adam and Travis of the Woodshed to the podcast. Thanks for doing this, guys. How's everything going? How you doing?
It's going good.
Good.
Yeah, right on. Well, thanks for taking the time today and coming on. I know both of you are obviously really good friends of mine, and I know you're starting up this new business, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to have you on and feature you on the podcast and just kind of chat about what the new business is about. So maybe if you can just describe a little bit about what the Woodshed is. Adam, I'll give it to you first.
All right, perfect. So the Woodshed is a new fireplace store. We're going to be focusing on propane and wood fireplaces along with barbecue supplies. We're going to go pretty big into some of the barbecue stuff with like spices and stuff, make it kind of unique compared to some of the other barbecue stores that are around now.
Yeah, no, and it's a great idea. I know obviously we've chatted about it in the past, over maybe a couple suds or something like that. But I mean, it's a great idea, kind of what's going on there. And I know both of you have been working extremely hard to get it up and running. When is opening day? Do you have a day set yet when you're planning on kind of opening it up, or a rough estimate?
July 14th.
July 14th.
The plan.
it was the plan, or it is the plan?
Yeah. That was the plan.
Okay.
And it's now hopefully sometime mid-August. It's just taking a little bit of time with renos. Things just take time.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Lined up.
Yep.
Yeah,
no,
and get everything lined up, different people, different schedules. So it takes time.
Yeah, no, and I know both of you have been working obviously really hard, kind of doing really hands-on with both. Maybe I'll ask you, Travis, can you talk about a little bit of the location of the Woodshed, where you'll be able to find the storefront once it's up and running?
Right. So currently Topsail Star Pet Center is a business that has been here for close to 30 years. My parents bought it almost 20 years ago. So we're going to we are renovating a portion of that building into our storefront. So Topsail Star will still be, fully available. The boarding, the daycare, grooming, training, all that stuff is still there. So we're at 70 Ruby Line. And like I said, so we're taking over part of that building, and that's where the Woodshed will be.
Yeah, and it's essentially, it is going to be a storefront. You will be able to come in and browse and look through some items, right?
That's right. So we'll have different. Get into a few things that we'll have there. So we will have some wood burning appliances there. Propane, the barbecues. So you'll be able to come in and have a look at some of the different options that way. Yeah,
right on. Yeah. And it's not, you mentioned Topsail Star. It's not right in the main kind of entrance there. It's sort of towards the back of it. I mean, I'm sure it'll all be, signed out. You'll be able to see where it is once it's up and running, but it's not quite right in front of where the original Topsail Star is, right?
That's right. So normally right now, the storefront for Topsail Star is in my home driveway. So there's a dirt road that kind of goes down along the side of the facility here. So that's where we're going to have the storefront for the Woodshed, and then actually Topsail Star will have their storefront at the end of the building as well. So we're going to kind of move it out of my driveway and into the building itself.
Right on. Yeah, no, that kind of makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got a lot of space back there. Once again, kind of getting out of front of your house. And then I guess you won't be getting mad at people for leaving their cars there overnight.
That's right.
Adam, what are some of the products that you will be selling at the Woodshed that you're going to be featuring kind of exclusively? I know that you're definitely bringing in some items that not a lot of people are here in Newfoundland. Can you talk about some of the products that you will be featuring there?
Sure. Okay. So first, the product that really set this off for us and what made me realize it was a good idea is a brand called Travis Industries. They make a few different fireplaces, one being Low Pie, another one Fireplace Extraordinaire, and a few other products. But I actually went to a hearth conference down in Nashville, which is kind of funny, a wood stove conference. But
yeah, no doubt.
I seen the products down there. That was about in 2015. And I was very impressed with them. They were beautiful stoves. The quality was like exceptional, basically. So I've been trying to get them here. I've been kind of mentioning, throwing their name around, trying to get them here for ever since then. And no one really bit. So now I'm going to take a stab at it myself.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, it's a great idea. And another kind of question I wanted to ask you, Adam, that kind of stems off of that is, I mean, over the last number of years, you've been working, exclusively with Hunts and Masonry. And I mean, that's kind of where you've probably gained a lot of your knowledge in this. So, what has that been, how does that transition from like turn into your knowledge experience to the woodshed?
Oh, definitely. Well, working underneath my father, when you're working with family, they're pretty strict on how you perform. So he's been he's been an excellent teacher. I've learned a lot from him, and we've done a pile of wood burning appliances. All we've really done is installed wood stoves and done fireplaces ever since I've been working with him. So I guess I've been specializing in this field for about 15 years. So know a nice bit about it by now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that comes hand in hand. I mean, I think it's obviously a great venture that you both are starting. What was the kind of idea behind both of you teaming up there? Did that just come about one night, or how did that kind of start up?
Well, believe it or not, me and Travis have been trying a lot of different stuff, trying to come up with different ideas for projects in different businesses for the past few years. But we never thought about expanding and putting what our skills were into an actual business. So when we actually sat down and thought about it, we said, hey, well, you have this land over there and this building that we can put this in, and I have the experience in the hearth industry. So it just made complete sense to team up and kind of work that way.
Yeah, that's right. So when Adam approached me, it was more so, you're kind of out in that country feel, you're out on the farmlands here. So it's kind of going for that feel. And we do have quite a large facility here in Topsail Star. So we did have a bit of extra space. COVID really hit us hard for the traveling side of the boarding of the dog kennel. So after speaking with my parents and, saying, could we take a portion of the kennel? Can we still kind of juggle it back and forth? Just made sense that, Adam has that installation, has, all that knowledge there. And I've been kind of managing Topsail Star for the last 7-8 years, whatever it's been. So just having that side of it just kind of made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question for you, Adam. Like, what are some of the services that the woodshed will provide? I mean, besides your expertise, is there anything else that you guys will be involved with?
Definitely. Propane is fairly new to us. So we will have a propane installer offering propane installations of propane fireplaces, propane freestanding stoves, essentially like a wood stove that is propane basically. And we'll be offering firewood services. Maybe not this year. Things are a little bit busy now, but next year we'll definitely be getting into firewood. And then it's just basically the services that I already offered with the masonry, chimney services and everything. The only other I guess we wouldn't really be doing much. We'd probably service our barbecues that we'd be selling as well and stuff like that. But basically most of our services will be all fireplace oriented.
Yeah, you mentioned the wood. I know that's probably not something you're initially going to get into. Obviously, you're in the process of really, getting this storefront up and running, plus getting your products in and, gaining a valuable customer base. But is that something you mentioned that you plan on doing in the future with regards to selling, bundles of wood or large quantities of wood? How will that work?
Yeah, so there's actually a little bit over an acre of land that we have available to us. So we were trying to figure out what we could do with it, and it just made sense. Wood stoves burn wood, so why not fuel the appliances that we're selling?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, it's smart. It's kind of like a one-stop shop, essentially. You know what I mean? For the wood stoves. I mean, hopefully, once you get some wood going and then the different types of fireplaces, wood stoves and propane stoves. I mean, it's a great one-stop shop. I know you mentioned to me in the past too, stuff about, certain barbecue, stuff to do with barbecue, spices and stuff. Is that's something else you're going to do as well, I believe?
Yeah, I'll let Travis, you want to answer that one?
Yeah. So there's a huge group of people out there now that I guess are getting into barbecue and grilling as a hobby. So you start your smoker in the morning, you get up early and you get your coals, your charcoal, your different smoke woods, and just kind of sit around and kind of watching paint dry. But you got your piece of meat that you picked out maybe the day before, you had it in a brine, and then so that's a huge, or a big part of our store will just be different spices, different sauces, that sort of stuff. So we're always looking for new stuff. There's lots of options out there for that. So that will be between, like I said, the different charcoal, the different smoked woods, different flavored woods. Kind of just brings in a new kind of creative side to the, besides the wood stove and the propane, just kind of a little bit more of the hobby side of it.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess those things are definitely readily available, whether locally or online, but I don't think there's a place that you could probably go and get all those things into one stop. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of, different ones out there. And so finding something that you like and just kind of honing in on one thing that you get to know and kind of not necessarily specialize in, but just get comfortable with. So, we'll have some options there for sure.
Did you have something, Adam, to add there?
Yeah, I was going to just say kind of what we're doing with the spices and stuff as well is we want to kind of stay away from the stuff that's full of salt and kind of, crappy ingredients. A lot of stuff that we're selling is actual pretty high-end spices. We're going to be selling the Spiceology stuff, which is excellent. We've been trying it out we've been trying out a lot, actually, the past couple of days. We've been getting a few extra inches on the belt. Yeah, the quality, we're pretty stoked about it. There's no additives into the spices. The mixes are excellent. And a lot of the sauces and stuff that we did order, they're coming from smaller guys opposed to bigger companies. We're just ordering them direct from the business themselves opposed to going through a distributor. So we have a lot of small, different neat little craft sauces and stuff like that that will be fairly unique to the barbecue scene here. I'm pretty excited for it. We've been trying a lot of it. It's really good.
How do you prepare for getting product in like that? Is that something that you kind of order samples in, or you order bits and then you kind of try it gradually yourself, or how does that work?
You get Adam Hunt on Facebook and Instagram going down. He told me the other day he was actually on Google Maps going into stores looking at what they have. I was like, only Adam would do that.
I mean, it's smart. I mean, it's very smart. I mean, especially if you're looking in places where barbecue is such a, a featured way to cook. I mean, especially in the southern states and stuff like that. But is that kind of where is that the kind of the idea, like you bringing in some spices, you kind of try them out and then, and then you keep pushing them like that?
Yeah, so we've tried a good few of them, and if like a lot of it, like fortunately we've put a nice bit of research into before we brought it in. Another brand we're excited to bring in, like Flippin's sauce that's done from a guy up in Ontario. So we ordered a few samples from him and tried it, and we're just basically that's it. Try it. If we like it, we bring it in. If we don't like it, that's all right. We're not going to bring it in.
Yeah. So another question, what kind of work have you guys been doing to kind of get this storefront up and running? I mean, I know both of you have been pretty hands-on, but what's it been involving, and how long have you been up to it so far?
Do you want to answer that, Travis?
Well, I'm not much of a labor worker, I guess. Hunt's been definitely taking the reins on that as well, like a lot of stuff. His knowledge just, between the wood stoves, just anything like that. So, how long ago did we start? It's been a couple months. I don't know.
Year.
I kind of losing track of time now, but
a couple months a year,
Yeah, well, I guess starting talking to the city, it's been over a year that I initially went to the city. We're on agricultural land here, so that's the issue in itself. That what are you allowed to put there? So they have their say. Then the city of St. John's is also in there. So dealing with both of those initially was tough, just kind of getting answers back and then trying to still move forward with it. And then finally, when we did get the good news that we were able to do it, then that's when the sledgehammers and the jackhammers came out and Hunt started to put me to work. So no, but it's been good. So it's taking down block walls and chipping up concrete, and that's been good. It's been good looking back on. We got lots of pictures that we'll show later on of the start to finish. So
you mentioned, Travis, you know, kind of the red tape with the agricultural land and stuff. Like, what are some of the challenges you face with that? I mean, I didn't hear about anything like that. I mean, that seems pretty interesting.
I guess they want to keep agricultural for farming and just like have so much land that they don't want to give away to subdivisions. And just up the road, Diamond Marsh used to be, I think, agriculture as far as I know, and that kind of got rezoned, or it got permission to develop into housing. So they want to keep so much of it just as agricultural, no matter, you know, if you're farming with vegetables or cattle or whatever it is that you're doing. But we've been here for almost 18 years, almost 20 years. Business here, the guy that owned it before was here for, I think, 13 years before. So it's kind of been a kennel dog, you know, place to go, pet store. And we don't have a whole lot of land for farming. So, you know, that's when we were speaking to the city is, you know, we're not going to farm the land. We're not, you know, what can you do to help us along to keep our business kind of going? You know, we had land here that we just weren't using. It was just kind of vacant land there. So that's where we got into the forestry as part of agricultural. So that's where we kind of got into the wood stove part. So we're selling firewood. That's the agricultural side of then selling wood stoves and getting into that sort of stuff.
Now, that being said, you also did have existing retail, so they allowed us to transfer that over.
Right. So that was the other side. Is normally there's not retail stores allowed on agricultural land. I guess we're grandfathered in from years before. So then that's what they said we could do a what's the terminology? The occupancy transfer, whatever it was, just from having that business and then opening up that retail part for the wood stoves.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Yeah. No, I mean, that's wow. That seems like a little that. I mean, it's nice that you could have pulled that off, and I mean, that kind of worked out. I mean, great in both of your favors. I mean, so that was a great hook. I mean, I'm sure it was challenging. I mean, anything when you're dealing with the city and different stuff like that is always a challenge. But it's nice that you guys could manage to pull through. I mean, that's kind of the hardest thing is kind of getting those permits in place and whatnot, and really trying to get it moving, because everything else after that usually hopefully falls in place.
That's right. And that's the thing with, you know, the city takes time. Everything takes time, and lining things up and permits and, you know, all that sort of thing. But then COVID also kind of interfered there with no being in the office. So you're leaving emails or voicemails, whatever it is, and you're waiting to hear back, which that's it. That's life right now. So hopefully that's changing, you know, we're getting things moving a little bit quicker. But so at the beginning, that's a lot of just sending emails to people that you didn't even know if it was the right person. So you're just trying to find any information that you can get, and just to try to get someone to listen, someone to help. And we definitely found those people along the way, and we're slowly getting there.
Well, congratulations to both of you. I know you're working extremely hard at this new venture, and, you know, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Do we got a rough estimate of when we're opening up the woodshed, or are we still kind of just plugging along for now?
Right now, I would imagine with renovations, from my thoughts, probably the end of August. I'm hoping for.
Okay, right.
Just in time for heating season.
That's right, just in time for heating season.
That's right. Yeah. We're saying that Labor Day is coming up pretty quick. We'd love to be open by Labor Day, but we also had some prior times that we thought that we could be open to, but, you know, it just kind of runs into just lining things up. So
yeah, no, exactly.
By Labor Day.
And there's no point in rushing anything too. You know what I mean? You want to have your final product set up, and you want to be ready to rock when you do. So, I mean,
yeah, that's right.
For anybody who's listening at home here now and is unfamiliar with the woodshed, where can we find you online, or how can we keep in touch and see what the updates are with the woodshed?
Sure. Right now we are on Facebook and Instagram. Our tag is NL Woodshed, and we will have a website launching shortly, probably in about 2 weeks' time. that will have a list of all of our products and everything that we will be offering. We're kind of announcing everything on our Instagram and Facebook now as we get closer to having that website launch.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you both taking the time out of your day to hop on for a little chat. And like I mentioned, wish you nothing but the best of luck in the rest of the renovations and getting the store opened up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'll
probably see you the weekend.
All right, fellas. Chat soon. Cheers.
All right.
Later.
There you have it, guys. Big thanks to Adam and Travis of the Woodshed for coming on. Two of the guys are good friends of mine, and I just really wanted to have them on. I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of get a little promo for them going and to get the word out about their new business, the Woodshed. So you make sure you do check out all their social media channels. I just seen they got a bunch of new spices coming in, and there's wood stoves arriving. So that's it's going to be a great look for them for the fall and winter. If you're looking for some home heating and looking to up your barbecue game, I mean, definitely check out the Woodshed on Facebook and Instagram. That about does it for me, guys. Not going to keep you too much longer. Got another busy week ahead of me, and just looking forward to banging out some gigs. I want to say big shout out to the Dildo Brewery as well. I played at the Dildo Brewery last Saturday, and it was a ton of fun. I love playing that room. It's always a great crowd out there. I mean, I just love playing it, and big thanks to Roger and all the crew who are out there. They're doing great stuff out in Dildo. So that about does it for me, guys. From downtown St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm Dave Whitty. Peace.